Hi everyone, today we'll start the array, how we can implement array in Java. So let's go and start with the array. So first we'll see what is an array. So basically array is a data structure to store data in sequential. So array is a data structure which is used to store the data in sequential manner. So there are different types of array. So for example, there is array called one-dimensional array, 1D array, and we have two-dimensional array. So we can write it 2D array, and we have array called multi-dimensional array. So we can write it multi-dimensional array. So first this video will be all about how we can implement one-dimensional array, how we can store data, and how we can retrieve. What is the syntax of this one-dimensional array? So we can create the array using this syntax, like data type, then the array symbol, so we can represent it like this, and the name of array equal to, and in this bracket we can store the data. So this data will be of type integer. So here we can write like 1 comma 4 comma 5 something, just time to store like this. Okay, this is the data we have stored it. This is the one type of syntax. And we have another syntax like data type is, for example, we talk integer, and the same like and with the name of array. So name of array, just we are changing it to numbers, and this is my employee ID. So here we can store it 7 comma 4 comma 5 comma 9 comma 1 comma 4 comma, okay, duplicate is not so 40 and some 85. So this is the number. This is just example. Okay, so this data, this one, we can represent in different way also. So we can write it by creating new object. So new integer of, here it will give size. So like how many data you want to store. For example, we will take how many are there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So we'll give it here 7, and this and the semicolon. So this will give this line will create new array with the size 7, and we can store this data. So let's see this code in our editor. So in real time, how we can create this array, like 1D array. So we'll go inside src com dot man is not required for me now. Let me delete it. So new class. So we'll create the class is implement 1D array. So we'll come here and we'll just write the main method, and we will try to create the array. So integer array, and the name of array is my array equal to the how many values you want to store. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 6, something. This time I'm going to store it. So this will create a array, and it will store all this value to this array. So this is the array is created. Now what you want to do, we can print it. So what we'll do, we'll write the public method. You can directly call it. So we'll give a static, and it won't return anything. So what? So this method is all about print all values from array, one-dimensional array. So print values from array. Print values from 1D array. Okay, be specific. Okay, so it will take input as integer array. So array name we will just write it as array, and we want to display it. So retrieve values. So we can use it here for loop. So we'll start from 0 to this length of this array. So it will be array is less than array dot length, and we will keep on incrementing. So system dot out dot println of, not this one, println of array of. So we will retrieve using index wise. So index I. So we can call this method. This is the static method. Directly we can view. We can call this method directly using the method name. This method name is print values from 1D array, one-dimensional array, and we will give this array. So this array's name is my array, and just to represent, here we will give system dot out, system dot out. We can't print it, we can't call it here. This is not inside method. Okay, so directly we will call it here. So system we have stored here in this array, my array is getting printed. So what we are doing here, first we are creating and storing values in this array. This is just to show this message to you in console, and we are calling this method. This method will go, so it will take array, one dimensional array, and we are using this for loop, and we are going till the length of this array and printing this value using for loop and using system.out.println, and it's displaying all the values here. So we can write it println, just we want to display these values in one line. So just run it. So this is not incorrect. Okay, so what we can do it here, so between these values we'll give this space, so it will look more good. Yeah, so this is the values we have stored: 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 6, 54, 32, 1. So this data directly we are storing. This is not the correct, this is just to is for learning purpose, but in real time if you want to create this dynamic, if you want to create this array, how we can create, so that logic we can see it here. So what we will do it, so we'll just comment all this code. This is okay. So what we'll do, we'll ask the user how many input they want, element they want to store in array. So we'll call this system, we'll call this scanner class, scanner equal to new scanner, and we'll ask from system, we'll take the input and we'll give this system.out.println to ask user, please enter size of, it's better to ask how many values you want to store in array, and this question mark, and we can store it in variable. So we'll create this variable integer, the size. So what is the size of array? Size equal to scanner dot next int, and the size is stored in this variable. And what we can do, we have size, so based on this we can create array, one dimensional array, using this syntax, using second syntax, dynamic if you want to create. So we can use this. So how we can create, so we'll give first data types. This is the integer data type we are going to store, and the symbol and the name of array. So name of array is array, and equal to new int, and the size. So this is the dynamic data we are going to store, so we can pass this variable here. So it will create this it will create the array. with the size. For example, in user is passing 10 values they want to store, so this will create the array with the size 10. And if we are not storing data, just to see so what the values they are going to store it, so we can call this print values from 1D array, and we'll pass this array, and we'll see so what are the values is getting stored in empty array. For example, here how many values you want to store in array? 10. So but we are not going to store directly, we are just printing. So the default values for integer, it is stored in array. So default values for integer data type is 0. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So this is the array is created with 10 values, but values we are not yet stored. So what we can do, first we will store it. So here our array is created. So after this line, yeah, array is created. So before printing it, what we want to first we will store data. So just we will give the system.out.println. We'll ask the user, please enter size. Size means so whatever the values they are going to pass. For example, they have passing 10 values they want to store. So we'll ask, please enter all size means 10. What if they have passed 10? So 10 values size, yeah. And we can use here for loop, same will start from 0 till our array dot length, and we will increment this array. Okay, data type I for integer I is less than array dot length I plus plus. So it will create in this array, it will start from 0 will till array dot length. So it will be 0 to till 9. If we will start from 1, so we can call till array dot length equal to I. Yeah. So we are going to start from 0, so we'll go till array dot length less than I is less than array dot length, and we can store it using, first call this array name, and the index is I equal to the scanner reference dot next int and semicolon. So all these values will store. First values will come in index 0, then 1, again increment 2, again increment 3, 4, 5, 6. It will keep on incrementing, and values will be stored in this array index wise. And already this code is written to print it. So this will call this method, and we can print it. So okay, we can try it using, okay, we'll go and run. So let's run this code. So how many values you want to store? So first time we'll go store 5. So they are asking please enter all 5 values. So 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, 4 comma 5 and enter. Okay, input mismatch, input mismatch exception create. Okay, oh, what is the problem? Mismatch happened. We want 5 1. Okay, 2 3. Okay, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So okay, so we are using for loop, so we can pass this line by line. Okay, I did not have entered, so all this value is getting stored in this array, and we are calling this all values from 1D array, so we are printing it here. So array is created and we are able to print it here. So this is the method for printing, and we can also create this as method. So what we will do it, so from here to till where, here, just cut it and write a separate method. So method to implement and store values in 1D dimensional array. For this we will write a public method static and create and store values. So we're going to create and store the values. So you can paste this code here. Okay, so return type, we are not going to return anything. So this method is created. Okay, we are going to store data here. So we need to return it. We want to print how will, okay, so we can print it here using integer array. So once data is getting stored in array, so if you want to make any operation, so we need to return it. So this is the method. Okay, so this loop starts from here and it's going close it here, so we can return this array. So what is the array? This is the array name. Okay, so what we can do, so first we'll call this method. The method name is create and store. So this was just to stand, so I'm removing this code. create and store values. We'll call this method. After create and store, it will return here. So what we are going to return? This array. This is the type of integer array. So we can just copy. So this array is getting created and store values, and it will return. So we can return store. So whatever this method is returning, so same thing we can store in this variable, and this variable we can pass it to this print method, and it will display all the values presenting in this array. So we'll try to run it. Yeah, the same code but in method we have used. So if you want to call if you want to make this code anywhere used, directly you can call this method. So there is no need of rewriting this method. Like if you want to read, if you want to display the values present in array, directly we can call it. So same code, this time we will store 10. The size of the array is 10, and the values will pass to some random values. I am just taking. Okay, so these are all 10 values we have given. 6 is so 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 9 and 10. So this is not required. Okay, so all this value is getting stored. We are able to create the array, and we are able to store also. So this was all about one-dimensional array. Thank you for watching videos. Please subscribe and like the videos. Thanks a lot.